so I kick it, then it'll play, right? Or you.
Okay. Sorry.
Now wait a minute. Now why? Okay, don't plug that back in. Yeah, do it now. And your volume's all the way. Did your battery die?
Maybe that's it.
Yeah. Have you put a new battery in it recently?
No, I haven't.
I think your battery died. I really think that's what's going on.
Okay, can I unplug now?
Yes.
Okay. Was this easier for the mic if I sit, or does it matter?
It'll be easier, I think, if you stand.
It'll be easier to stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Boom, 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 boom. Is all this on camera?
Oh yeah.
Oh, great.
Okay, keep playing.
Is it gonna sound like terrible if I strum?
I don't think so. You sound good.
Good to go?
Yeah, if you can hear yourself okay, we're good to go.
All right, let's do it, man. Cigarettes and salami were at the top of the list. And the last thing he said before he gave her a kiss. Then she drove to the store from the coldest sack. Deep down he always wished that she'd never come back. Think of all the places you go when you dream. Ain't it funny how the heart goes places you've never seen? That's why all we do is daydream on bar stools and church pews. No, the city ain't pretty, but no one's here for the view. I guess little Steph never really had a plan. She still drives around in that 98 Trans Am, and she still fits into her high school clothes. Ask her how and she'll laugh and thank her overdose. Think of all the places you go when you dream. Ain't it funny how the heart goes places you've never seen? That's why all we do is daydream on bar stools and church pews. No, the city ain't pretty, but no one's here for the view. Now I've got a banjo that just sits on its stand. I never learned to play it though, I've got too slow a hand. So it just sits there listening to me sing with this guitar, while it dreams of another life where it might have been the star. Think of all the places you go when you dream. Ain't it funny how the heart goes places you've never seen? That's why all we do is daydream on bar stools and church pews. No, the city ain't pretty, but no one's here for the view. No, the city ain't pretty, but no one's here for the view. Thank you. I wake up every morning, I hear the birds on the line. Hell, I'd be singing just like them if I had the time. But they've got wings and I've got work boots that I lace up every day, that keep me 40 hours closer to the grave. Everything I've got is mine. Mister, can you say the same? For every buck I've earned, I've got a scar that's kept the change. But these scars ain't worth nothing, won't buy the keys to the chains that keep me 40 hours closer to the grave. On my nightstand there's a Bible that I never read, and there's a bunch of pills scattered everywhere that are supposed to help my knee. Now I'm thankful for the work, even though my nights are long, and I do believe in God, but sometimes I think He's wrong. How do you keep a good man down? You tell him to say his prayers. Tell him heaven's waiting for the man who earns a meager fare. So he'll work and work his life away, so someday he might be saved. But he's just 40 hours closer to the grave. He's just 40 hours closer to the grave. We're all just 40 hours closer to the grave. Thank you. I made up this next song. I went to, if you want some advice on how to write one like this, you go to your next family funeral and you sit down next to your drunkest uncle after the funeral and just let him spill the beans about the family. And then try to find a way to make it rhyme, but don't be the next reason for the family funeral. When Grandpa came home from the war, he stayed in his camouflage. Then he'd get drunk and shoot the cams while dodging bullets from some mirage. I guess the old man had enough and he surrendered to the barrage. 'Cause Grandma came home from work one day and found Grandpa hanging in the garage. They say a good man leaves his family wings and roots. Our family tree is bearing rotten fruit. Now Cousin Billy and Sister Abby were drinking beers by the dozen. By the time the 6 o'clock church bells rang, Billy and Abby were kissing cousins. Well, Billy knocked her up that night in the yard behind the shrub. She couldn't afford the misoprostol, so she drowned that baby in the tub. They say a good man leaves his family wings and roots. Our family tree is bearing rotten fruit. We laid Grandma in her coffin now, with her Bible against her breast. We wrote her name in the family record per her last request. She lived with the burdens of these secrets she thought she hid, but the shame will not die with her when they close the lid. They say a good man leaves his family wings and roots. Our family tree is bearing rotten fruit. Thank you. Every time I hear the sirens, I hope you are okay. But if you are in danger, baby, help is on the way. I still don't know the difference, or if there is one at all, between the sirens of an ambulance and the sirens of the law. So are you handcuffed in a cop car to be taken behind bars, or in the back of an ambulance getting CPR? Every time I hear the sirens, I hope you are okay. But if you are in danger, baby, help is on the way. All the cars will pull over and people will watch you from the side. Call it a parade if you're living, or a procession if you've died. Every time I hear the sirens, I hope you are okay. But if you are in danger, baby, help is on the way. Every time I hear the sirens, I hope you are okay. But if you are in danger, baby, help is on the way. Thank you. This next song is a song I made up about the place I work, which is a hospital. And it's about just how rat fucked you are if you're poor and sick and try to go to the hospital. It's called Clean the Ambulance. She takes a Tylenol for the tumor that's been causing her headaches. Then she'll pass out and piss herself from trying to stop the shakes. Now she's already seen a doctor and he knows what she needs, but she can't pay her portion of what her insurance says she's agreed. So every month they send a bill that she piles on the floor. She calls it the monument of humiliation of all the sick and poor. She wonders what good is a hospital with all these meds and beds if they're not gonna save me, 'cause it's cheaper if I'm dead. Now those bills have turned to phone calls, so one day she finally answered. She mustered up the strength to yell, "Listen here, you little bastard." She said, "Don't you understand what a waste of time this is? You don't get your money, and I don't get to live. But on the day you haul me out of here, I'll have shit my pants. So the joke is on whichever one of you has to clean the ambulance." Thank you. This one's a little happier. It's called Little Victories. I've been writing checks for the full amounts, and not a single one has bounced. So I get the pay and full discount, but it's a painful discount. I've been working off my debt from my neck down to my knees, so I can count the little victories. We should get a ribbon just for living with our anxieties. I'm not one to fold my hands or to get down on my knees, but I'm grateful for the little victories. Now it's Sunday morning, we're sleeping late. They're probably passing the collection plate. Our souls will not be saved today, but today will still be saved. 'Cause she's got me pinned down with my face between her knees, so I can taste the little victories. We should get a ribbon for not killing ourselves from our anxieties. I'm not one to fold my hands or to get down on my knees, but I'm grateful for the little victories. Thank you. This is the first song I wrote last year, all the way back in January of 2020, and without knowing it, it kind of set the tone for the year. All my thoughts are like cinder blocks I'm tying to my feet, and and I can't swim, so I'm jumping in. I hope it's pretty deep. I used to want to live forever on days I felt annoyed, so I could watch the earth get hit by an asteroid. I used to want to live forever on days I felt annoyed, so I could watch the earth get hit by an asteroid. But I'm going off the map, so don't waste a stamp. I didn't forward my address, 'cause I'll be with all of my dead pets and dead relatives. I used to want to live forever on days I felt annoyed, so I could watch the earth get hit by an asteroid. All my thoughts are like cinder blocks I'm tying to my feet. Baby, grab the fancy stuff and give the cap a toss. Let's sit on the porch and watch the rocket launch. Unplug the fucking radio, now it's just filled with static. Yeah, I know what's coming next, but I'm not gonna panic. 'Cause I'm waiting on the end of the world with you. I'm waiting on the end of the world. I'm waiting on the end of the world with you. I'm waiting on the end of the world. Even if we tried to make a run, it would be too late. The last word on the broadcast was they blocked off the interstate. It's lousy science fiction. Where are the machines? I hope it's nothing like the movies. I wanna feel everything. While I'm waiting on the end of the world with you, I'm waiting on the end of the world. I'm waiting on the end of the world with you. I'm waiting on the end of the world. I offered you a bullet. You said only if there's two. I'm waiting on the end. I'm waiting on the end. I'm waiting on the end of the world with you.
Hey, applaud this motherfucker. He's good.
Daytime is a thief. It takes everything we've got. We lose a little more each time the hands go around the clock. till the dust settles on our dreams like they're books on a shelf. And we wear every compromise, though we don't recognize ourselves. If you want to count all the ways that a heart can break, then count the days. Look at all those old junk cars stranded in the yard. They're all broken down, rotted out and scarred, 'cause the truth can't be covered up with the coat of paint. 'Cause time shows everyone everything we ain't. If you want to count all the ways that a heart can break, and count the days. This next song's about a woolly worm, the little caterpillar. The howling winter wind sings death each time it moans, and all the leafless branches look like brittle bones. But you can hear that old maple just a whistling along, 'cause by now he knows every word to Old Man Winter's song. I wish my own heart went dormant just to stop everything, so I could have a season to figure out the other three. Then I saw a baby woolly worm roaming the sidewalk. I thought somewhere his mother must be distraught, 'cause he finally has all his feet, so he just learned to dance. But there's a snowstorm a-comin' soon, and he don't stand a chance. But neither do I, and neither do we, if we're both out here running around just to tell ourselves we're free. Now I'm staring out my window, looking at the aftermath. It looks like that blizzard buried everything in its path. Then I thought of how that woolly worm never spun a cocoon, and how he was born just a little too late, so he died far too soon. No, he never got his wings, so he never made it far. But at least I didn't meet him on the grill of my car. Woolly worm, rest in peace, little guy. This one is called Jesus H, G's Louise. And I made it up after I heard some people don't have an internal monologue. And my internal monologue always says to me, Jesus H, G's Louise. If I can play it. I'm working through the slog of my internal monologue, constantly second guessing every answer to every question. All the possibilities are alternate realities. How about some quiet, please? Jesus H, G's Louise. Death, it taunts me everywhere. A name on a bench in the courthouse square. Flags flying at half-staff. A dead spot in a patch of grass. Expiration dates come fast. Start making room in the trash. A dozen eggs and a steak in the deep freeze. Jesus H, G's Louise. Those aren't your clothes on the floor, but your picture's still in the drawer with a letter I'll never send. I should have just told you then. I still have the same old dreams, tornado sirens and people's screams. Yeah, alright, I'm not catching Z's. Jesus H, G's Louise. I'm still working through the slog of my internal monologue, constantly second guessing every answer to every question. All the possibilities are alternate realities. How about some quiet, please? Jesus H, G's Louise. Thank you. When I opened up my eyes, I tasted blood on my lip, and the aching in my knee means I must have tripped. I guess if I admit it, I tried to drink myself to death, and it appears I lost a bet between my next laugh or my last breath. Now I'm staring at my coffee, it's blacker than a bruise. I'm as broken as an eggshell, I will not improve. Last night it was cigarettes, so today's albuterol. And daydreaming all afternoon about my funeral. When I hear the church bells ring, I do a little dance, while picturing my loved ones, scattering my ashes. Now I'm dumping out my coffee, it's colder than a corpse. I'm as beaten as an egg, and as guilty as the fork. Just got a couple more for you here. This song is called Dying in This Town, and I made it up because I grew up in a small town. And I remember that John Mellencamp song about the small town. It was like a fist-pumping song. And that just wasn't how I really remembered it. I never thought I'd be another small town fool, 'cause I don't care about cars, and I'm lousy at shooting pool. And I never understood those country songs them old boys sang, and no one ever gave a damn about my daddy's name. So don't ask me what I think about the high school football team, and I don't give a shit about the homecoming queen. But here I am in the same old gym, come every fall. Come spring, she's gonna leave this town, and the bitch will have it all. When I was young, I'd tell this joke. The punchline was this town. The setup was the poor souls that never made it out. But time always gets even. I'm the one they laugh at now, 'cause the joke's on me. I'm the one that's dying in this town. First got hired on just as summer help. The next thing that I knew, I had my own tool belt. Christ, you've got a lot of balls, crying about 40 days and nights. Try working 40 hours for 40 years of your life. Well, I guess if I was smart, I would have joined the Corps, but I'm the first one in my family that hasn't gone to war. No rifle ever looked or felt too natural in my hand, and neither did the blood of another man. When I was young, I'd tell this joke. The punchline was this town. The setup was the poor souls that never made it out. But time always gets even. I'm the one they laugh at now, 'cause the joke's on me. I'm the one that's dying in this town. I loved a dark-haired girl whose eyes were big as stars. She'd bum my cigarettes, we'd read graffiti on boxcars. I'd read the names of the cities that I'd never go, that were filled with the lovers that she'd never know. Well, that girl's been gone for years now, but that train still passes through like a dream that just won't die. That's checking in on you. Now that whistle just reminds me my future is my past. This town is where I took my first breath, and it's where I'll take my last. When I was young, I'd tell this joke. The punchline was this town. The setup was the poor souls that never made it out. But time always gets even. I'm the one they laugh at now, 'cause the joke's on me. I'm the one that's dying in this town. Yeah, the joke's on me, 'cause I'm the one that's dying in this town. Thank you. While driving down a country road, I hit a monarch butterfly. No one wakes up thinking they'll watch something die. Broken wings on my window shield, but there was nothing I could do. So I ran the wipers and I watched him hit the ground in my rear view. acceptance and acceptance and acceptance and resignation. Where teardrops fall is where new love grows. I'm never more in love than when I'm watching someone go. Still I hope someday I'll meet the one who'll change how I felt. And I'll quit smoking cigarettes and start wearing a seatbelt. Acceptance and acceptance and resignation. Thank you. Just got one more for you guys. It's called This Train Ain't Bound for Glory. I made it up because I was driving home from somewhere I shouldn't have been on a Sunday morning, and the radio was playing Mavis Staples' This Train is Bound for Glory, and I said to myself, this one ain't. Traveled many a lonesome highway and walked down many a railroad track with nothing but a song and the wind to my back. As lonely as I've been, I've not once felt all alone, 'cause the footsteps of the ghosts I'm chasing are scattered along the road. This train ain't bound for glory, but I knew that all along. For a world gone deaf and blind can't be saved by a song. So here's to all my heroes who failed 'cause they tried. No, this train ain't bound for glory, but I'd take another ride. So I'm sorry, Mother dear, and I'm sorry, Jesus Christ, for wasting holy water back when I was baptized. 'Cause I gladly pass on heaven, not 'cause I think you're wrong, but 'cause the path to hell is paved with a fuck ton of good songs. This train ain't bound for glory, but I knew that all along. For a world gone deaf and blind can't be saved by a song. So here's to all my heroes who failed 'cause they tried. No, this train ain't bound for glory, but I'd take another ride. I heard it on the radio, I read it in a poem. I felt it in a midnight train whistle when it moaned, and it moaned. This train ain't bound for glory, but I knew that all along. For a world gone deaf and blind can't be saved by a song. So here's to all my heroes who failed 'cause they tried. No, this train ain't bound for glory, but I'd take another ride. No, this train ain't bound for glory, but I'd take another ride.